Hello, it's Jen Bengal here from Out of This World Literacy. Yesterday I talked about 7 reasons to teach reading fluency. If you missed episode 66, go back and check it out. There are 6 main characteristics of reading fluency. Today we're going to go over the first 3. In episode 68, I'll go over the last 3. For each of these traits, I will share a few narrowed focuses for teaching ideas and give you a sample of teaching language that you might use when you're working on teaching your students this specific fluency characteristic. The first characteristic for teaching reading fluency is pausing. Pausing is when you teach the students to notice punctuation, and not only notice the punctuation, but notice it for meaning. What does a comma tell you as a reader? What does a period tell you as a reader? What does a question mark tell you? And also another narrowed down focus that you could do with pausing is to teach the students language for a lesson. So you might use commas when you stop or make a break. You might use periods when a new idea is about to begin. Here's some language that you can use in your classroom when you're teaching pausing with your students. You might say something like this to your class. You may have heard teachers say you need to read with fluency, and you may think reading with fluency means you have to read as fast as you can, but that's not really true. When readers read with fluency, it means that they are thinking very carefully about the words and how they go together to make sense in the text they're reading. So when we read with fluency, we're really reading to understand. We are reading for meaning. Today I want to talk about how readers use commas to help them read with fluency. When we see a comma, we stop, take a breath, pause, and then keep on reading. So you might say something like that with your students and then start practicing with some mentor texts that you have on how to read with a comma and pause. The second type of reading fluency characteristic that there is phrases. This is grouping words by meaning. So teaching students how to group words into a meaning. So words that are in a string or a prepositional phrase that goes together. You might have some language for this lesson. If you were to teach this to your class, you might say something like this. You may have heard teachers say you need to read with fluency, and you may think reading with fluency means you have to read as fast as you can. But that's not really true. When we read words in phrases and not just one word at a time, we can think more deeply about the meaning in the text. Let's practice this together, and you can go ahead and practice reading with phrasing with your class. The third characteristic of fluency is stress. This is when you're stressing certain words to convey meaning. So you might put more emphasis on one word than another. All of this has to relate back to meaning. So reading fluency always ties back to reading comprehension. Some language that you might use with this one is, today we're going to talk about one key idea from reading with fluency that you probably have already done, and you just didn't even realize it. It is reading with stress. Reading with stress means that as you read, you put extra stress on the key words than you do while reading all the other words in the text. You may stress one word or an entire phrase. You'll know readers are stressing a word because their voice will get louder, or maybe they will drag out one word. Let's think about what it really means to read with stress and what kinds of words we should be stressing as we read aloud or silently today. I hope this chat helps you think about how you can add to your reading fluency instruction. If you teach in grades 2 through 6 and you need more reading fluency lessons, you can visit www.readwithfluency.com. If you're listening live, I'm hosting a brand new free live training all about reading fluency. Visit jenbengalwebinars.com to register for a live training now. It's been my pleasure chatting with you today. Know that I'm the biggest fan of the work that you and your students are doing in the classroom. If you'd like more teaching tips, you can check out outofthisworldliteracy.com. Until next time, you've got this.